Good morning and welcome back. We're on day 5 of our Northern Spain trip and we're at our second planned destination. We stopped on a campsite last night. Not really for us, but it's the only alternative where we are now. There used to be other wild parking spots, but have now been removed. We're on our actual second planned activity. We're going up into the mountains, the Picos de Europa. And our first stop is supposedly a beautiful old church, about 3.5 kilometres away. So I'll bring you in and out as and when there's something to tell you or there's some scenery for you to see.
As you could tell from the intro, things had already not gone to plan, and this was pretty much the theme for the whole day. I think it's important to show the failures as well as the successes. I'd hate people to think that these trips are a bed of roses from start to finish and nothing ever goes wrong. So we continued along on what turned out to be a ride down into the valleys rather than up into the mountains, and continued our search for the prodigal church. Needless to say, we never found it. We arrived at this beautiful parking spot, and I cursed that we hadn't continued a bit further along and found this with motorhome the night before. Later on our return journey, we were to notice the no motorhome sign as we left Posada, so in reality we couldn't have parked in this beautiful spot anyway. So we continued on along what we thought was the correct trail, up to a beautiful viewpoint.
So it looks like we're going to have a rethink on going to see this church. Sounding nice, and again it's hard to get some idea of height here. But if you see that road down there, winding all the way along, and back round the corner, the church I believe is about 1.5 kilometres down there, and then it's a dead end and then we've got to come all the way back up again. So I think we're going to give that a miss. I'm sure it's nice, but I don't think it's worth the pedal back up. Okay, change of plan again. We are actually going down this route because this is the main route that we're taking. We're nowhere near the church that we're going to go and see when I've just checked the map now. So this is the main route we're meant to be taking up into the mountains, and in a bit we should be turning off to go and see this church. So I'll bring you back in a bit. Down, down. I hope we're going to have enough battery to get back up.
So things were still not going according to plan, but we carried on regardless, just hoped that things got better as we went along. The trail we were heading for promised to be spectacular, heading along the side of the river, few caves, over bridges and down canyons.
Gracias.
So we continued on down the valley with spectacular views of the mountains and followed a beautiful river all the way along. It was a beautiful trip all the way down, but somebody was starting to get worried about making her way back up.
That you can hear in the background is Anthea fretting.
So we carried on along and eventually we came to a beautiful village.
So we've stopped for a break. We've come to the end of the tarmac section and now we're going to start along the rough gravel section. We're not sure how far we're going to go because Anthony's threatening a bit about having enough battery to get back up the hill, and it is quite steep, so I don't blame her. So we've hardly used any battery and done most of the pedalling ourselves up to now, so I'm sure we're going to be okay. Okay, so that's scuppered our plans there. No bicycles. They're not big rule followers of Spanish, but I don't think I'm going to risk going along with a bicycle. Okay, so we're going to take our time on the way back, I think, on the road we came in, and we will actually stop at the individual sites that we missed on the way down. I think make the best of a bad job.
So we retraced our steps for this beautiful village and started our ascent again back up the valley.
Okay, so we're out of the village, we're taking the return journey back. Got to admit, I'm pretty disappointed we couldn't go along that trail by the side of the stream. Okay, so we're taking it super slow. I'm struggling a bit because her bike's a hub drive motor, mine's a mid drive motor, so I've got all the gears. So I'm sort of in ninth gear or something. Okay. Just stopped back there a minute ago and it looked like there might have been a parking spot. Hell of a lot of walks going in different directions here. This one says Posada de Valdeón, which is where we're actually staying at the campsite. 6.7 kilometres, so it'll be a nice walk. Goes across here and over this bridge here. Anthony don't like the look of that. No, it's a bit rickety. What a beautiful setting. looking like it's not dissimilar to the walks up at Riagna. So that even on a summer's day today, and it's not particularly hot today, it's July compared to Andalusia, you've got some beautiful walks and you spend a lot of the time in the shade. Look at that. Yeah. This is definitely a Mike place. If you recall seeing one of our earlier videos where we did a coastal walk in Mahaka, keen walker is Mike, and he would absolutely love it here. Okay, so I think we'll have a quick drink and we'll carry on up. It's not too bad on the bikes, not using a lot of battery. %, gradient, oh my god.
So we continued our climb back up the valley. Anthea was starting to experience a few problems with her bike.
I think we're going to stop at this little picnic area, have a sandwich, a bit of a break.
So we found some decent shade and stopped for a break.
So in an attempt to try and get this bike to go up the hills a bit better, we've took the panniers off Anthea's bike and put them on my bike. Hopefully she'll be able to make it a bit easier to get up there. There's no reason why it shouldn't. I mean, it's a 500 watt now, this bike. It should get up these hills, but that last one was 20%. I'm running the 750 watt, as you probably recall from previous videos. But I'm not barely using that at half power, so I don't know. Anyway, for now, I've put the panniers on top of everything I've got loaded on my bike. Hopefully my bike will cope with it, and we'll see if that eases the pain a bit for Anthea. So we just had our sandwiches. Stopped another nice little pot place here. It's like a junction for walks going in different directions. I think it's definitely more of a walky place than a bikey place. It looks like the walks follow the river, so you obviously don't have the slope so much. Okay, Anthea seems to be having a bit more success coming up there now without that pack on. I'm just taking my time. My bike's not even feeling it, even with the extra weight. As I say, anybody, never hesitate in buying a Barfang 750 watt. Excellent bit of kit. I weigh 90 kilos. God knows how much we've got on the poor old bike now. Also a lot to be said for the older style mountain bikes with the steel welded frames. This bike isn't missing a beat. I won't say any more than that, I don't want to tempt fate. Oh, someone stalled again. Oh dear. I can see modification part 3 coming up on this bicycle.
Eventually we made it back up to the car park near the viewpoint. Trying to get back up was a bit of a worry, but in reality Anthea only had to push a couple of times, so it really wasn't that bad. Certainly not for me.
This place, this parking area, is a little bit further on from the campsite, just beyond the next little village. It goes to show you what you do when you listen to rumours and people who only half know what they're talking about. There's plenty of room here for parking the motorhome, and I can't see any signs to say you can't park overnight or anything really. There's no signs at all on a disabled sign.
Unfortunately, the rumours did turn out to be true, and we eventually saw the sign saying no camper vans past this point further up the road.
Yeah, well, just stopped before we got to the village where we're staying at. Nice little lake there formed by a dam. Anthea's gone ahead because it's now going downhill. I think she's about had enough.
I did originally do some extra footage and commentary on this location, but I do feel that I'd had a bad day, and after thinking about it, I thought I was a bit unnecessarily harsh on this location. It's true, it's not very good for bicycles unless you want to ride on the roads. It's more walking orientated. It's also true that it's quite restrictive where you can park your motorhome. You have to park on the camping site or you just can't stay there. And another thing I hadn't mentioned up to now was also flying drones is forbidden, although I suspect if you were responsible and careful you could probably get away with that one.
Now we're back onto the outskirts of the village. Looks like I've taken a wrong turn. I've seen a campsite above me. No doubt this will circle back round.
I returned to the campsite to discover Anthea was nowhere to be seen. I started to worry and starting to think, God, what's she done to herself now? So I had to turn back round and go and search for her.
Hey? No, I took a wrong turn and I went down the bottom way. And then when you went back at the caravan, I thought, oh bloody hell, what have you done now? Oh. Should have just gone back. Well, I expected to see you back at the caravan. Should have kept to the plan. Stuck to the plan, woman. Oh, now you're all speedy. Oh well. And we're back at the military checkpoint at the edge of the campsite.
Now me and Anthea have had a few weeks to take time and reflect on this trip here to this particular place in Posada. I feel we're probably a little bit harsh on the place at the time because we'd had a bad day. We do plan to return again. We think we'll stay in the campsite, which as campsites go was pretty nice. And I think we'll probably catch the minibus down to the bottom and actually do the walk, which is meant to be really good. So yeah, in conclusion, I think we'll definitely be going back. Not next year, but probably the year afterwards.